I learned the same life lesson from a blue cartoon fish and from one of the most controversial comedians on the internet. Yeah, two different worlds, one pure innocence, the other chaotic nonsense. And yet, somehow, they both reflect the exact same truth. A truth that the more I've pondered upon has started revealing itself to me in art, biology, and honestly, in the struggles of building this channel. One of those universal principles which seemingly apparates into my awareness suddenly, like the cosmos is mirroring a corresponding theme through every character, creature, and creator that crosses my path. So today, let's follow that thread from childhood nostalgia to the wild world of sketch comedy and tie it all together, shall we? Keep moving forward. As soon as I had the working title for this episode, one of my favorite childhood movies, Meet the Robinsons, bubbled straight up out of my apperception. If you know, you know. But for the uninitiated, I was about 10 or 11 when it came out, and because it perfectly blended Jimmy Neutron, robots, and Back to the Future, I was captivated immediately. In Meet the Robinsons, we're introduced to our protagonist, Louis, a boy genius just like Jimmy, but in classic Disney trauma programming, Louis is an orphan. In one of the initial conflicts of the film, Louis demonstrates his latest invention for a perspective of adoptive parents. But things quickly go awry when his toasted PB&J dispensing hat malfunctions, almost killing the man who wants to adopt him. Obviously, they had time to do or say anything to stop Louis, but hey, you know, plot's got a plot. Of course, facing yet another humiliating rejection pours salt directly on Louis's core wound, feeling starved of love and recognition by a non-existent parental figure in his life. So in the classic boy genius fashion, he begins inventing a machine that would give him the capability of rewatching old memories. Why, you might ask? So he can hold on to the sliver of hope of tracking down his mom and receive the love and validation he desperately craves. This is, unironically, the inciting incident for the entire movie, and every timeline we witness. There are a few. The original, unaltered one that leads to the timeline where Louis's future son Wilbur goes back in time to kidnap Louis in order to help him track down the man who stole Louis's second time machine. I'll gloss over a few of the juicier plot points here for anyone who hasn't seen it and wants to watch an almost 2-decade-old movie. Fuck me, I'm old. But through the power of either movie magic, shenanigans, or as Professor McGonagall famously said, sheer dumb luck, they made it back to the future and crashed their time machine. This finally gives us the scene that my raconteuring brain immediately forced upon me as soon as I had the title. Wilbur is paradoxically instilling Louis with his own motto, keep moving forward. Isn't it just so stupidly simple? Even a forgetful Pacific Blue Tang can drop the watery equivalent. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, 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 swimming. Thank you, Dory. But the elegance of simplicity is that it gives rise to complexity, and within this concept we find the core of all men, incredible and inept alike. The basic evolutionary need is to survive, to press our luck and will on an uncertain future so that we better our chances of seeing another tomorrow by, you guessed it, keep moving forward. Every breath, every swig of water, every morsel of food, a yes to the universe that we not only want to fight for our right to party, but the inalienable right to exist, pursue our goals, and see them come to fruition. And this isn't just a trite human aphorism either. The other animals in the web of life, the very ones we're intimately interwoven with, despite centuries of Darwinistic division, have been living as parables of persistence long before we ever had the language to describe it. The doggedness of a cockroach to get nuked, or have its head chopped off and still be able to survive for a week. Eventually, they do die of dehydration, but, you know, at least they got an extra week being headless. The lack of fucks a honey badger gives as it traipses through the savannah, not being afraid to fight something 100 times larger than itself. The near-perfect immortal jellyfish returning to its planula larval stage ad infinitum. While they all embody the archetypal meme of keep moving forward in their own unique way, do they even have a choice? We're the only being on Earth that can think its way out of homeostasis. And that always gunks up the flow, you know? Hey man, don't get me wrong. There have been days, probably entire weeks, where I thought about giving up on this whole YouTube dream of mine. But it's those exact moments where I have to practice what I preach, right? Having waffled back and forth so many times between needing a comfortable illusion of unending inertia versus seeking the unfettered novelty of new nouns that I've totally lost count. And wherever you find yourself oscillating on the continuum of constant change, never forget, just like water stagnates or we eventually suffocate in a sealed room, the cessation of movement is death. Hell, even if Dory wasn't speaking directly for him, Bruce lives by her motto too, as sharks literally drown if they don't just keep swimming. Now, if you feel my cinematic examples are a tad bit childish, I'd have to say, you're right. At some point, doing improv comedy, I heard the adage, first thought, best thought, which is why, generally speaking, I default to letting my inner child run wild while I'm creating. Yet, time ceases for no man, and I find myself 2 weeks away from turning 29, digesting the fact that I won't be young, wild, and free forever. Fucking damn it. But if a jellyfish can literally reverse the curse of aging and become a baby again, then surely I can keep moving forward and strike a balance between mature decorum and whimsical wonder, right? Right. Bet on it, homie. Bet on it, homie. Bet on it, homie. Because the next example goes from PG to rated R real quick. There's a comedian by the name of Sam Hyde, and whether you love him or hate him, he has his fingers on the pulse of society. Not many other people truly embody this ethos of keep moving forward quite like Sam. I originally stumbled upon a clip from either a stream or podcast where he was giving his opinion on Israel, so right away, you know this man is not afraid of controversy or letting what other people think affect him. While at times he strikes me as over the top or overzealous, I do genuinely respect how he carries himself as a very effective troll/free speech warrior. I have no idea if he sees himself that way, but from everything I have watched, he certainly beat Matan Evans at his own game, and being called a far-right neo-Nazi in modern-day America usually means they committed the thought crime of thinking for themselves. Heinous. Indeed. Polytricks aside, the most recent piece of media I saw related to Sam was on a YouTube channel called The Buckingham Show. The video is called $1 Million Extreme Documentary, America's Most Canceled Comedians. It did a phenomenal job giving me a better context to Sam's hero's journey, and also allowed me to appreciate his resilience and willingness to push boundaries even more than I already did. If you have 2 hours and some amount of interest in learning about Sam Hyde and his crew of dudes who create their brand of comedy, the link is in the description. Near the end of the doc, Sam references something.
I think one thing that Frank Yang pointed out is that creating stuff like this is for men, is to men what giving birth is for women, and it's the closest that men can get to giving birth is creating art. It's like our attempt at imitating this miracle from God. So when a project is over, do you get like a postpartum depression kind of thing that sets in? Yeah. So I started being just hyperlateral and having a bunch of things going at once, so that when one thing ends, there's still stuff to do on the next thing. So I did that to avoid that sensation of like loss of meaning that comes at the end of a project.
Sam also said,
No. Hell no. Life is a succession of terrible things happening and brutally taking, like this car accident, we're gonna, brutally getting, taking the wind out of your sails. There's no other option. What else are you gonna do? Just fucking sit in a room and play with yourself?
He's so crazy, and I love that for him. Once I finished the entire video, I got curious about who is this dude doing the interviewing? What's his story? When I clicked on his channel, I immediately learned that his name is Brandon Buckingham, then proceeded to watch his 43-minute long channel intro trailer, which covered his 2-year journey from 0 to 100,000 subscribers and was a celebration of him reaching 350,000 subscribers. It's pretty inspiring and definitely well done. Another shining example of someone setting his target, shooting his shot, getting confused, lost, and disheartened when failure, resistance, and uncertainty came up, but in the end, sticking with it while he kept moving forward. He's now sitting at over 1.2 million subscribers, and while I don't plan on ever watching another one of his videos, because it just seems too degenerate, or that energy of like, I'm only doing this for the clicks and like attention-seeking thrill malarkey, I will return every so often to rewatch his intro trailer, if and when something brutally takes the wind out of my sails. Both of their stories, well, truly all good stories, are filled with trials and tribulations that give those who endure them the chance to overcome adversity. These are our crucial character-defining moments that shape us, that pull us toward what we seek, or at the very least, prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that we are enough to be successful. A few quotes come to mind to drive this home. It's possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not weakness, that is life. That which doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And the harder I work, the luckier I get. Now and forever, whether with Herculean esfuerzo or ebullient ease, keep moving forward. Because if we want to enjoy the fruits of our labor while they're still ripe, do we even have any other option? Nope. Don't say. Till next time, my pupils. Aloha e mahalo, amigo.